Guide us as we move to do the business of our community. Bless everybody in attendance. Grant us some of your wisdom and discernment as we move forward. Keep our fishermen safe as they bring sustenance to our community. Amen.
Amen.
Call in order. Oh, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Shepard. Here. Commissioner Evans.
Present.
Commissioner Shepard.
Here.
Vice Chair Niemer.
She's here. She's not in the room at the moment.
Chair Weber.
President. General public comments. The general comment period is provided for subject not included on the agenda but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the district. Each person is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes of speaking time. The board may not take actions on non-agendized matter. However, the board or its staff may briefly respond to statements or questions. Government Code 54.2A2. At this point, I will comment.
Thank you.
Comment asked what happened in the closed session yesterday with the attorney, hiring the attorney.
Yeah, I know. This would have been nice. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have retained a new general counsel. He's based out of Eureka. It's the Mitchell Law Firm, and we negotiated a significant discount from what BBK was charging us. It's going to be between 18% and 28% less expensive, depending on if it's a paralegal, an associate, or a partner. So we're really excited about that partnership, and I think it'll represent some cost savings for the district.
And the same thing was reported on yesterday after the meeting, so it's just a repeat to clarify, so since more people are here, and everybody can hear it. Sorry for that.
That's okay. Thank you very much. My name's Linda Sutter, investigative reporter for CrescentCityTimes.com online newspaper. At the last meeting, which was today at noon, it was revealed that this harbor is going bankrupt. So the thing is Mr. Rademacher, during a March 16th economic summit, assured the public that the harbor was not broke. So that's just one more lie. And then yesterday, during the special meeting, I outlined several egregious acts committed by Mr. Rademacher. And yet, based on your inaction and dismissive attitudes, it appears that some of you do not fully grasp the seriousness of these violations. Or worse, you've chosen to ignore them. Mr. Shepard, let me address your comments directly. You expressed frustration toward me because I filed a writ of mandate, and that it's costing the harbor bucket loads of money.
Buttload.
Thank you for clarifying that. Why? Why are you upset about that? Because it's because of Mr. Rademacher, who refused to provide public records in the original format of text messages. Please don't disrupt Mr. Rademacher. In the original format as required by law. You're upset about the cost of the writ to the harbor. But I have a question for you. How much public money did the harbor district spend on this current investigation? And yet, you still have Rademacher employed. Why? He keeps lying to the public. He keeps lying to you. You guys you don't seem to get it. Do you realize what your words said yesterday when you said, Mr. Shepard, when you casually remarked, well, I'm a Mike guy. Supporting a pathological liar, that's the stance you've chosen? That isn't loyalty. That's a reflection of your character. You should recuse yourself from voting on the current contract for displaying bias. You have a whole room of constituents in here who's probably going to say, don't hire Mr. Rademacher. So why are you doing it? Especially when the harbor's going broke. In the meantime, you carry pretend bonds and broken promises, and the public is watching. So while you continue to protect corruption, I'll begin the process of collecting signatures for recall. I'm done with you guys. You guys, especially a sworn peace officer, protecting corruption, that's rich, Mr. Evans. That's disgusting. So thank you for your time. Perfect timing.
Possible change here. I've had a chance to look over your proposed plans for the next, 4 or 5 renditions, and it truly is impressive if it's possible to accomplish. It has a very good chance of improving the harbor's fortunes for turning things around down here. And for that, I'm sure the community would be truly appreciative. However, I want to express a cautionary note in all of this proposal, in that we are all aware in the community of what happened when, for the most part, the current staff at the harbor and a few of the current commissioners were on board when Alex Lemus rolled into town. And I'm hoping that in this instance, a certain amount of due diligence is done when you're hiring people to turn your fortunes around, and we won't have a repeat of what happened under the previous commission and the current staff. So the fact that the harbor master's gone does not diminish the fact that most of the staff that was there under his watch is still presently employed here at the harbor. And they do have a significant amount of influence when it comes to making decisions, because after all, that's what they're paid to do. Thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant day, and I hope you are cautionary going forward.
Somebody else. Thank you very much.
My name's Jerry Henningsen. I've got some issues in the direction that we've been going for quite some time. And the process that went through for the last harbor master, and I'm just picking on that because it's been on the forefront of people been talking to me about. We seem to be continuing this same path of hiring takers when we need to hire some givers. The people that we've had in the past keep wanting to take things from the harbor, whether that's money or position or whatever it is. And it seems like we're following that same path again. I didn't see this position being flown out to the public, and if you did, I missed it. And that's the process that I think we need to take on that. But just for other things that are happening in the harbor, that I keep seeing this transition. We've got this DACWA thing now that must cost the harbor something to have, and it's very hands-off. It's not easy to use or to keep up with, and it must have a cost involved. We've been here for years and years and years, and we've always been able to send out bills as they come in, and I don't know why we have to pay an outside firm to take care of all that stuff now. It seems to me that we keep getting more and more people and contracting out more and more things, not to the benefit of the harbor. So anyway, this other thing, and I keep getting these $30 surcharges, and I don't know why, and I shouldn't say keep getting them. I've gotten several. I'm on an automatic payment, and they throw these surcharges in at $30. How do you justify a $30 surcharge on a $40 power bill? It makes no sense to me. I mean, there has to be some justification in your fees. You must have a fees ordinance, and there has to be justification behind why you're charging those fees. You're not in the business of making money. You're providing a service, and your costs should be taken care of. But I don't see these things that we keep sending them out. We keep getting contracts for this or contracts for that, when we should have enough people here to provide the services that need to be provided. And I don't know whether it's too late, too little, too late, but not in favor of hiring Mr. Rademacher for the harbor master or the CEO. Don't think he's qualified. I think all of his qualifications come from being in this harbor under harbor masters that haven't done this harbor any good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to get it with Jerry there. I don't really think this guy, is he getting paid on performance? Or are we just gonna throw $20,000 because he wants it? I don't see his performance. He's been under at least 2 other harbor masters, and here we are in the toilet. He can't tell me when we're going bankrupt or what's gonna happen to fashion when you do go bankrupt, because he don't care. I'd like an explanation, and he just sits there with a smirk on his face and doesn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's lied to me multiple times in other contacts I've had when Petrie was here. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Never happened. So how do you give him a raise for poor or no performance in my book? You got an answer? You're the head cheese here. You have an answer?
Please go ahead. Use up your 10 minutes.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Well, it's up to me to provide an answer for you at any time.
You only have 2 people.
You don't
here,
ever
him and
provide
her,
answers.
Know what a working harbor is. You don't have any idea.
Gotta
You're
go.
just here listening to him and taking orders from him. He works for you.
Yeah.
And you just go with whatever he says.
This is your opinion, sir.
No, it is my opinion. There's a lot of opinions.
It's
through
the
harbor.
truth.
I walked the dock yesterday, talked to 30 people, don't even know who the hell he is. The other guy before him, nobody knew who he was. They're always out there. If you look up what a harbor master's supposed to be, he's 0 on that. You go to Brookings, take a field trip up there, see how Travis runs that harbor. This is a joke. I mean, I don't know if you can just find what a clusterfuck is, but this is it. And you are involved in it too.
Yep.
So,
Amen.
yeah, I don't want him anywhere near me on this harbor board.
Thank you. Somebody else?
I guarantee he doesn't have a fan club at the harbor either.
All right. Yeah, you were still within the minutes, so it's good. No other comment? Okay, we then move on to the communications and reports.
You might want to close public comment, Weber.
Order. Maintain.
He needs to close public comment or it's
I
open.
just moved on to the next area.
That's not how you do it.
I can choose my wording the way I need to.
Okay, thank you.
Next section, communications and reports. A harbor commissioner and committee reports. I'm gonna go down the line, or anybody who is willing to.
I have nothing to report at this time.
Nothing reported.
No
I talked with
surprise.
Travis up in Brookings here this week, and he's been running a remote control type dredge, and he's willing to come down and help us if we've got a pilot project in plan to where we're going to be able to spot dredge in our harbor, planning at the sinker lift at Thatcher Blacksmith, I think first, and then some of the problem spots in the boat basin, and we're going to get that together soon, and he would be willing to come down and help us with that. He's a big learning curve on running one of those, and I think that's kind of where our grant money is looking towards going, doing something like that. It moves a small amount of material, but if you work at it on a daily basis on a small harbor, you can keep it functioning. So it was a real good meeting I had with him, and I hope that he's going to come help us in the future when we get when we get to the point that we can do it, so, all I got to report.
I met with our new financial person, Sandy Moreno, this week. We walked around the harbor and discussed primarily the RV parks. She states, we met with a tenant over there who states there's a renter now in the apartment up above. Not really sure about that. Yeah.
No. It's just a camp host who's in the, she's taking the RV space. And then we got the traveling nurse who's over in RHB, who's also a camp host in that part.
So this week camp hosts, it's great news.
Yeah.
Ms. Moreno's working hard to increase advertising over there and signage so that hopefully increase some revenue. As stated, she's attempting to get a budget out by the first week of June so that we will have direction on our near future and how we need to proceed with that.
I had a meeting with John Evans and Sandy Moreno to talk about finances. Anytime somebody else takes over that particular area, you want to make sure there's due diligence done and what are you taking control of. And it is kind of calming that we are capable of taking on quite some critics as somebody who has in the past been very critical of the harbor and its financial situation. You come in, take a look at our books and look at our books. Help us through this difficult situation. Bankruptcy, as of right now, is not assured. It is a difficult situation. Things need to fall into place, but I will not be able to predict the future until I really see it. This was basically it.
Yeah, so I'll just echo the comments of Chairman Weber. You know, we have nothing to hide, financially. That's why we've invited Sandy Moreno, who's been a frequent critic of the harbor, to be our financial advisor. She's going through all of our books. She's doing sort of a miniature audit on her own. And, she's going to be very instrumental in helping us make some decisions that are going to be very effective for the harbor. And starting with, we've reduced the executive staff already. We've cut hundreds of thousands of dollars from executive staff salaries. We're losing positions through attrition to try and right-size our budget. We're bringing in, hopefully some shrimp. We've been working with Ocean Gold. It's a great relationship there. Getting the ice plant back up and running. That's very important for the commercial fishing fleet. That was one of the things the commissioners tasked me to do. We're looking for diversified revenue streams. We are in a very precarious position, but we're proceeding very, very cautiously and with a very close eye on the budget. We're focusing on cost control and revenue generation. And so a couple of other things. The grant situation is looking really good. We're sitting right now on about $15 or $16 million of grant funds to redo citizen stock, to redo the seawall. These are important infrastructure projects that we've been working on multiple years. I've been a huge part of that, and I'm proud of that. And we're moving forward with we just got to round 2 of the California RISE Regional Investment Grant. It's going to be $5 billion of additional funding that can go towards further enhancement for citizen stock and the seawall. Also, we're bringing in a new hagfish operator, Craig Thompson. He's coming from the Dandy Fish Company in Bodega Bay. So that'll be a new source of revenue. We just got final approval from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the National Marine Fisheries Service on our environmental assessment for the citizen stock and seawall. That's been going on for about a year now, so it's a major milestone to move forward with those projects. And you'll see later today that we're updating our submerged navigational hazard abatement plan. So there's a lot of activity going on here. I know people don't always see it, but there's a lot of talent on this board, and I've got a pretty extensive background in government service and financial management in general. and I think you guys will be happy with the results. Give us some time.
He has an
These
extensive
things are
background,
complicated.
but he refuses to show any educational credentials.
I appreciate your feedback, and I'll take it into consideration and try and be responsive. Give me a call in my office if you have concerns. We're a public agency. We're here to serve the public. So, thank you.
Any public comment as to what you've just heard about us presenting? Yes, please.
Do I have to do it from the front, or can I do it here casually, or no?
It's all right if you.
All right.
I have a hard time getting up.
Need a wheelchair? Yeah. Be all right. Take it easy.
Hey.
Oh, this is
All right, so I just had a question. You mentioned, Mike, about Craig Thompson.
Yep.
I've had an extensive relationship with Craig. I didn't hear anything about it, but he's been somewhat removed. Could you elaborate on the hagfish operation that you?
Yeah, so he's been going out to sea, doing some test fishing to see, the quality of the hagfish, and he's been working, over the hoist that Leon has been operating, and he's been really happy with the results, and he just told me this morning that he wants it to be a long-term relationship. So we're working on getting him some hoist space, and we have some tenants who haven't been, paying their lease, that potentially have some space for him to operate.
Yeah, I'll address that, Mr. President.
Yes, please go
And
ahead.
I've been a big hagfish guy, because of the past years, ever since I've been a fisherman. There's always been complications, and it's a mess, and the last outfit that was here was very, very stinky, very, very messy, and I think with our lease that we're going into with him, he's reassured us that his operation is way cleaner, and we've looked at his operation in Bodega Bay, and he's operates in a very clean manner there, and so we expect him to do the same thing here. And he's also a potential fairly large crab buyer, and possibly could even expand his buying into other things besides the hagfish and the crab. So that's our take on him.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. I worked with Craig a long time. I've been an SPC co-op member for like 14 years, so he's one of our hubs. When there is salmon, he has the co-op contract for Bodega Bay. He also has that really extensive hagfish operation. I've been there many times. I know his floor manager, the guy below him. He does run a very, very clean operation. An extremely fair individual that I've never had an issue with. He pays every time on time.
We're really glad to hear that.
He also works closely with George, who owns Ocean King. George has always been a pretty good live buyer. That's shipping to China, and he's become more of a major player. Not as big as some of them, but I'm pretty pleased when you mentioned that. I didn't know about that. Another question would be, obviously, working over there near the Leon Gavin scene, because that's where they're set up with the pools. And as you know, as they're agitated, slime eels secrete slime, right? Slime isn't exactly as bad as some people say. When I started fishing it, I was like, this isn't as bad as people say. They think it's slimy. People are, scared of worms in the garden and stuff like that. Those are the guys that are...
I'll give you another minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here,
Since people were...
I was just going to say, is Leon still going to be involved in the hoist over there?
Leon's retired.
Leon's retired?
Craig Beasley is running it.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
So may I ask, who's paying who's running it over there? What's happening? Maybe I missed that. There's a hagfish guy coming in, but who's paying right now? What's happening there right now?
So yeah, Fisherman's Catch still has the lease.
Okay.
And then of course, Johan has another part of the lease. Johan is and so potentially Craig can move into that space, or potentially Fisherman's Catch. Fisherman's Catch, has, I think everybody in this room knows, has been having a really hard time paying it's impacting a lot of fishermen. It's impacting our ability to get moorage. So we're going to have to perhaps bring the hammer down on Fisherman's Catch. So,
Yeah, I don't have a problem going on record and saying that he's been bankrupt multiple times, changes the name of the company each time. Annie's husband's involved with the squid fishery, which is very removed from the Northern California fisheries. If you go to Southern California and San Pedro Ventura, quite a few people are looking to have some kind words with Peter from years past. He's left some people with some devastating amounts of money in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in the past, gone bankrupt and not paid, then changed the name of the company. He's been doing actually pretty well the last few years, but I believe he's at least $400,000 behind on local fishing payments, which really trickles down. You know, we've got some operators here that are owed $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That's supposed to be supporting 4, 5, 6 people in some cases. You know, an owner and captain. It's really tough to hear that, and I'm pleased to see that there's some thoughts on maybe bringing down the hammer and bringing in somebody else that's more multifaceted. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. Sorry for the extra time.
Also, just to follow up on that, you know, Peter gave us a proposal to develop the RV parks, and it's a result of this, you know, inconsistent payments that we rejected that offer. So we're trying to proceed, you know, we're trying to make a departure from the past where it was just a rubber stamp on some of these developers, and we're really trying to do some vetting and be a lot more circumspect about these kind of decisions.
So, the bathroom that was supposed to be built out here on South Beach somewhere, that was grant money that you guys received about a year ago. And what's the status on that? And secondly, Mr. Rademacher, you stated you have extensive education credentials, and I'd like for you to please tell the public the schools you've attended and let us know what your credentials are. Thank you.
So Linda has been trying to profile me. She's been calling my ex-wife. She's been calling associates of mine.
That's a lie.
Someone who's connected with you has been calling her repeatedly.
I have absolutely not.
People have been.
You know, I don't talk.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. Wait. I have 3 minutes, and it's 2 minutes.
Okay.
This guy, don't down talk me. I know what you look like with your clothes off, and it's not impressive. Okay, so excuse me. No,
I'm sorry, there's a point of order.
this is outrageous that this guy is talking crap about me. That's called slander. If I was slandering anybody, then you would stop
You need to
me.
be quiet.
No.
Point of order.
All right, then explain your education and the questions that I asked.
Mr. Chairman, please have Ms. Sutter removed.
No, you cannot do that. You better call the police because I'm not going anywhere.
I agree, she should be removed.
No.
Pointing at that level is absolutely
No.
ridiculous. Slanderous and
No.
ridiculous, and it's rude.
He was slandered.
Unreasonable behavior.
That,
Couldn't agree more.
well, you better call the police because if you touch me, there's going to be problems.
Let me just clarify one thing, okay? Let me just clarify one thing. It was told to me.
No.
No.
You call your attorney now, or I'm gonna stop that meeting.
Well,
right now.
I just don't want there to be any slander accusations. I don't know. If
Point of
it
order.
was you or-
Sorry,
Let's
sorry.
not address this.
The meeting for right now, 5-minute recess. Thank you. Call the attorney, please.
So we're gonna clear the room. We're gonna consult with our attorney.
I'm asking Mr. Holder to,
Everyone keep everyone in.
everyone's welcome to come back in after a 5-minute break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, reporters don't have to leave the room.
Yeah, I got it. What's your name on it?
Yeah.